Hello and welcome back, my friends. It's Belinda here from Visualised NZ. I am working today with printables from Tatty Treasure on Patreon, and these two I've got in front of me. I've already cut them out of the sheet. They are freebies from her Patreon account from Tatty Treasure, and these belong to Etsy kits. Now I've kept the strip so I could tell you. This one matches the Farmers Market Junk Journal, and this one matches the Junk Journal September kit, and those are available, the kits that these belong to are available on Etsy from Collage Type. Okay, COLLAGETYPE, Collage Type. So with that out the way, we can move on to the project. So I've already cut them out, as you can see, because I wanted to just have a little play with how they were. I've never worked with these before. So they're little mini file folders. So this one I have already folded up. Now I did make a mistake in that I was supposed to print on the back of these so that they had, you know, something nice on the inside. And I had already started chopping in before I realized I had not yet done that. And so I thought, I'm not going to start again. I'm just going to cut them out and we'll just do something else on the inside. So they do go two different ways. So this one, the decorative part's on the tab side. This one, the decorative side is on the side opposite the tab. Just a cute little detail I noticed after I'd cut them out. So that's kind of fun having them go two different ways. So it just gives a little bit of variation right from the start. So this one's got cute pumpkins on and melon, a musk melon. I don't actually know what a musk melon is. I suspect it's got another name here in New Zealand because it looks to me like a rock melon, what we would call rock melon here in New Zealand. Right, so there they're both folded up and you can see the difference, what I was talking about with the tabs. Okay, so I am going to stencil the inside, and they've both got green in the design, so I am going to use green for the stenciling. I didn't want to make it all brown. I wanted to inject just a little bit of colour. So I've chosen out this stencil here. It's just a cheap one I picked up online, so I can't tell you the name of it or where it came from, apart from it was either eBay or AliExpress. And it's getting broken, there's bits coming off it and all sorts of stuff, but by and large it still works. And I'm using Shabby Shutter's Distress ink to do the stenciling. So I hope you're all having a wonderful day today. When you see this, it will be the morning of my surgery, so I'm recording ahead because I'm definitely not recording it while I'm either about to head into surgery or in surgery already. They haven't told me what time it is, apart from that it's morning. So, and this will go up at 11:30 on Friday morning. I imagine I'm probably in surgery at the time that this goes live. So there's a fun little fact for you, isn't it? It's coming up very, very quickly. It's Monday today, and by this time next week I'll be on my way home if everything goes according to plan. I'm supposed to be discharged on Monday. So yeah, that's the plan. So spare a thought for me as I'm asleep under the knife. Right, and this one, I'm just going to do them both the same because this stencil fits quite nicely and it doesn't hit all the corners. That's fine. I'm going to be inking the edges anyway, and I'll do that with Distress Photo. Good old distress, good old vintage photo. Did I say Distress Photo? I think I did, didn't I? Can you tell my brain's somewhere else at the moment, like maybe on surgery? Never mind. So I was looking through the printables that I've got from Tatty Treasure and sort of mulling over what I might like to do for today's project, and came across these two little file folders and thought, let's have a play with those, particularly since I haven't done anything like them before. So good opportunity to just have a play. There we go. So we've very quickly got them distressed, and it takes away from all that white expanse. So you've still got white obviously, but not quite so much. Right, pop that away in my drawer because I'm not going to need it again. So I'm going to go ahead and distress round them now. That's right, I did have a plan. These are printed on presentation paper. They're not super heavyweight, it's only like 100 GSM. And I thought, I think I would like to just reinforce these tabs a little bit. Now, I haven't tried this. Oops, sorry guys, I just knocked the camera. Haven't tried this beforehand. So this is another, this page here is another printable from Tatty Treasure. So I don't know if this is going to work or not. But I thought I did think. I think it will work because I still want to retain the shape of the tab. Okay, I'm just going to go for it and let's see what happens. So I've punched a circle. This is 1.5 or 1 3/4, 1 3/4 inch circle, which fits nicely over that tab. So I'm just going to put glue on the bottom half of this. Good thing I remembered I wanted to do this, because I had actually forgotten. Right, so now I'm going to come in here and trim the shape of the tab, not tag. You could just cover it in the circle and leave it as a circular one, but I want to just retain the shape because, actually cut that off I think, and come in here. Come on, these scissors don't have a very good point tip on them that meets very well, so it's hard to get into those little corners. Oh, that's cute. And I thought, let's do the same thing on the reverse side. And I didn't fold it straight over because then I wouldn't know where to cut to meet my tab sides. I hope that makes sense. So just need one circle and it will do both sides. As I said, you could just put the circle over top and be done, or kind of try and match the shape, or just create a new shape. Totally doable. I just wanted to honour the shape that it's already got. Take that up a bit. Make sure it's lined up more or less. Doesn't have to be perfect because you're not going to look at both sides at once. And there we have achieved in strengthening that little tab. I'm going to pick the bits off my scissors because they've got glue on. It's sticking to my scissors and my fingers. Come on, come off. Here we go. And I chose just a neutral page to do this with. So it's a little bit different detail, but not dominating. Blends in quite nicely. Isn't that cute? I love that. Cool. Awesome. Now let's do this one. So I think I'm just actually going to cut it in half to begin with, because then I'm not fighting so much, I think, with it. Not that I was fighting, but, you know, I think it's just a little bit easier maybe to cut it in half now that I know it works. Oops, that's definitely not centered. That's better. So how's the weather at your place today? We are, as I'm filming this, we are in the third to last day of autumn. So winter begins on Thursday. You know, technically, doesn't mean that there's an automatic switch being thrown or anything, but that's how the laws of the land have decided things will run. That means that winter begins on the 1st of June, which is Thursday. But today, well, yesterday was super warm. It was like a mild summer day. Today is not as warm. Well, not, yeah. I mean, yesterday it wasn't warm inside. It was beautiful outside, but not warm inside. Today it's a little bit more overcast. It's not quite so warm outside, but it's still a beautiful day. Like, you wouldn't think that it was on the brink of winter. Oh, look, it just matched up perfectly there. Whoops, almost perfectly. Right, so last bit of trimming here. Where'd the other bit go? Oh, there it is. Getting sticky fingers and sticky scissors. Let's just give them a quick clean off. So next time I grab them, we're not going to fight with stuff sticking to them. Right, that's better, I think. Okay, don't need the circle punch anymore. So we've got our two little mini file folders with reinforced tabs. That makes them nice and sturdy. Okay, now from here, I thought, what would I like to do with them? And my idea is to turn them into little notebooks. I think they'll be super cute as little notebooks. So I have some coffee dyed paper here. We don't need this paper anymore, so I'll get rid of that. And let's measure up. Actually, that's about the right height. So fold it in half. Oh, I've just had an even different idea. Okay, let's just first tear this in half, and we might be able to get both done out of this one piece of paper. Sip of my tea before it goes too cold. Right. I'm going to fold this in half again, and I haven't tested this, I haven't played with it, so I'm just kind of winging it at this stage, because, you know, how hard can making a notebook be? Not super hard, are they? But my idea that I had might make things a bit different if I decide to actually go with it. So yes, that fits perfectly inside there. Okay. And depth wise, perfect. It's made for this, isn't it? So I'm going to fold this side in almost to that middle crease. And then I'm going to actually fold this crease back on itself, and then I'm going to fold this one in to there. You get an inkling of what I'm going to do, or what I'm thinking about doing. Thinking about making it like a pull out rather than a little booklet. Maybe it's a little pull out thing. And if we stapled it on that fold there, then we would still have that back bit and still have the stenciling show and writing space as well. I'm going to do it. Okay, I had not planned this, so I need to grab a few things out. I don't think my stapler will be long enough. It's just a wee baby stapler. Yeah, it's not long enough. So my trick is grab a rubber and a razor. And I want the staples on the inside. And then lay your crease line over your rubber. Open out your stapler. If your stapler opens out, if it doesn't open out, then you'll need to do it a different way. Oops, the staple's halfway out. It's not going to work very well, is it? It's already coming out to say hello. Okay, here we go. I think we're good now. Now I've got to reline everything up, make sure it's where I want it. And maybe I might paperclip it. Wrong drawer. Try this one. I don't normally paperclip things like this when I'm doing this method. I normally just go for it. But I'm wondering whether paperclips might just help. They might. So, okay. Now, I like to try and line up the little gap. So on your stapler, you've got this little gap where the staples come out. Trying to line that gap up on the crease. And it doesn't always work. But you try your best. I think just 2 staples. It's not too bad. It's slightly off at one end. But I think it will be okay. So then you come in with some sort of tool, and I like to use my little foldy creasy tool, and very carefully, because they are sharp, fold them in on that crease line as close as you can get. I have shown this in other videos, but just in case there's new people or you haven't seen that video where I've done this, then it's good to show these things more than once. Okay, and again on this side, and if it's vastly off, then just take the staple out and try again. Sometimes it's a little hard to get the rubber off the staple. Don't pull too hard, because you might rip the staple through the paper. If you pull too hard, just ease it out gently. come on. It's not wanting to go down straight. Sometimes they take a bit of persuasion. Right, there we go. Okay, can take the paper clips off now. And fold this back up, concertina style. That's all I've done, it's concertina style. So you've got all this writing space here, all this writing space here, and then you've got some over the back here as well. And we haven't lost that stenciling that we did. I think that's fun. And then, so I'm just gonna give it a press down because it's moves slightly once you've got it all together and you close the cover, just to make sure it all sits nicely. Ta-da! How fun is that? I'm really pleased with that. I think that's fun. And of course you can go ahead and decorate up the rest of it if you like. Now just see, it's not quite trimmed properly and it's not pleasing me. Now what I did mean to do before I did all that was to distress the edges. But never mind, let's go do it now and just work around what we've got going on. Always easier to do it beforehand, but you know, I got excited. Can't blame me for getting excited. Love it when a plan comes together. Not that I had a plan per se. Oops, nice big vintage photo inky smudge there. Which does not worry me in the least. Okay, and the outside. Much easier to do on the side where all the paper is because you've got something to press against. Okay, brush off the crumbs. I don't think I'm going to do the spine, particularly with staples in. I think that's good. Okay, do I want to add anything to the front? Could do a wee label or something. What have I got? There's these wee tags. They're from something December. I've chopped out the full name of the kit, but something December. So they're more Christmas themed, but not entirely. There's some that are just more nature. Okay, what I'm wondering, so I'm going to grab this one out. It's quite just a neutral one. I don't know if I've got to stamp the right size, but I'm thinking, could I stamp a label on it? Is where my mind's going. So I'll cut it out and then I probably won't use this tab end, but just in case we need the length, I'm going to leave it on for now. Oh, excuse me, I just had an eyelash hanging into my eye. Needed to take care of it. There's nothing worse than an eyelash or an eyebrow here in your eye. It's quite painful. Okay, now I'm going to look for a stamp that might work in this. I think this one's going to be too big. Ooh, it's not. It's not too big. I was sure it was going to be too big. This is just a cheap set I got off of AliExpress last year, so it's probably still out there. It's quite a fun little set actually. Yep, that's going to fit there nicely. Now, do I want black or brown or something else? I'm actually thinking green. Now, do I want shabby shutters? Let's give it a go. I don't usually stamp with distress inks. I don't find they do particularly well with stamping. But let's give it a whirl. See what happens. I can always just grab a different tag, mini tag, and try again with something else. So this is my third video I'm recording today, and I still want to do at least one more, and I need to do some computer work. Yeah, see, that's quite pale. It's not really what I was after. Do I dare double stamp it? Shall we give it a go? We've got nothing to lose. So I've grabbed out Stampin' Up ink in Gumball Green, which I believe is an old colour, no longer available. And let's try, sorry if I get my head in there, but I'm just trying to see the line up. Okay, it's going to go there, for better or worse. Give that a moment to hang out while I close the ink pad. And had, ooh, pretty damn perfect. Yes, sometimes you win. Isn't it a good feeling when you win, when something actually works? Okay, so with these ones I like to cut them leaving a slight border on the outside as well. It's just my preference. You don't have to, you can cut right up to the edge, but I don't know, it just adds something in for me. Just leaving a slight border on the outside, and it's, you know, challenges your cutting skills to try and keep it even as possible around all the sides, and it usually isn't, but it's wonderfully imperfect. Makes it interesting. That's what I think. Doesn't have to be perfect. Perfect can be boring. I am a perfectionist, by the way. That's often why I take so long to make ephemera, is because I overthink things and I want to get it perfect, and, you know, fiddling around, making sure. And then if I make a mistake, then I have to fix it because it bothers me. Okay, yes, liking that. I think that works well. Do we want book page? If I can find it. Yep, here it goes. A little scrap of children's book page, which has got a lovely colour to it. It's very, I can't remember what year it's from, but it's cracks, the paper cracks, it's quite fragile. I'm thinking, do I want it? Do I want it? Ah, that makes me happier. I didn't like it straight over top. I like it off to the side, like that. Yes. Okay, I'm going to distress very carefully, because if I press too hard, it is going to crack on me. I'm just trying to be quite gentle. It's a cute little story about a boy and a girl playing musical instruments. Don't know what the story is. Here we go. So let's do that. I think I'm going to go with tacky glue on this, just so I'm not risking sticking it to my glue page with glue stick, because I know it would not come off that well if it got stuck. So just erring on the side of caution here and saving myself a bit of frustration. Okay, so that was more over that way. One boy beats a drum, and then there's a bit missing with tapsticks, and a girl, her hair is jingling silver. Silver bells, I think it was what it said originally. Her hair was jingling silver bells, which sounds kind of pretty and unusual all at the same time. I don't know who has bells in their hair. It sounds like a recipe for getting tangled hair and breaking your hair. That's what it sounds like to me. Okay, pop that there. And do we want something up here? Just something little. Like a little butterfly. Where are my butterflies? I bought a kit of butterflies and fussy cut them all out. Took me ages because I printed the sheet off twice, so I had like double the number. I don't know what I've done with them. They would have been really lovely. So I don't know where they are, so let's stamp a butterfly instead. Or a dragonfly even. Or a wee birdie. Oh, I like the bird. Let's go bird. Okay. I think I need to get this bin off my table. Get it out my way. Okay, and I need a scrap of paper to stamp on. Let's see, I've got some strips here of various coffee dyed and old book page and all that type of thing. Yeah, that's a bit, I believe from sheet music, this bit, I think. Yes, bird will fit. Now what colour do we want the bird? So many decisions to make. I don't want blue because there's it's a slight bluey green in the background, but I don't think I want blue. Could do black, of course. Brown. How about we do a couple of versions and see which one we like best? How's that for a plan? So let's do black. Oh, isn't that a pretty birdie? Okay, black, and what other colour? Do we want green or brown? I think I might try it in green. I don't know why. It's just calling to me. So let's try this in green. So this is Ranger Archival ink in library green. And please excuse the grubby baby wipe there. That's been used to clean ink off my stamps all morning. It's looking a bit grotty, isn't it? Or a lot grotty. We'll just tuck it away for a moment so you're not sitting there looking at it. And then I need it. And I'll pop it back to the side. You don't need to be looking at that messy, grotty piece of stuff. I think I like the black one. Do I want to... I think I might just not properly fussy cut it, leave a border around it, but cut it out. I was going to do a square cut and then change my mind. I do like it in the green as well, but on this I think the black just works a bit better. Very soft paper, this. around the little feet and the wee tail. Or do we want them in the frame? We could put them in the frame. No, I think I want him up there, just to balance the composition. And he can be standing. I think I want to cut that in a bit closer. So he can be standing on the frame there, on the label. Yep. Now next decision, do I want to ink him? Okay, let's ink him. It's actually quite good just focusing on doing videos, getting some videos recorded ahead of time. There are going to be lots of gaps in my schedule while I'm recovering from surgery, but it's giving me something to take my mind off the impending surgery. So it is actually quite helpful. Sponge crumb on my thumb. Here we go, little birdie. You now have a home. And wondering whether I want a word in here. I've got words down here. No, too big. Make time for play. Don't want to cover up the pretty. I like that though. Okay, let's put that on there and then I think it'll be done. Add a bit of ink around the edges. Even though it's got a black border, I didn't perfectly cut it out, so I could be using glue stick for this, but I'm not. We could have put that there and then had the bird standing on this, but never mind. I like it how it is anyway. There we go. We have got one little folio all done. This can be left for writing, or you could decorate that up as well. And ding! I'm really quite tickled with that. I think that's fun. Yes, love it. How are we going for time? Oh, we're doing okay. Shall we get this one done or see how far we get with this one? So now we know sort of where we're heading with it. Just finish off a couple of mouthfuls of tea because that's all that's left. Right. So, coffee dyed paper. I didn't tear it straight when I tore it. Right, now I could do this one differently and I could just do it as a little note. Let's do that. So they're slightly different. Let's do this one as a little notebook like I was going to do it originally. I was going to tear it in half and it's like, no, don't tear it in half. And you wouldn't have your paper for your notebook. So just a couple of little pages. And I think again I'm going to use the paper clips because that seemed to work quite well just to keep everything together. fish them out from where they've ended up under everything else. And I might do one on each side this time. There we go. Let's grab our stapler, our rubber, and oops, no, something's not sitting right. That's better. Oh yes, that went in well. So I don't know what people normally do with these, because I don't think I've seen anyone do a video on them. Because, you know, I don't see all the videos out there, because there's lots and lots of videos. But I don't believe I've ever seen anyone make one of these up and see what they do with it. So they probably do this. I don't know. If you've got other ideas, let me know. Okay, that one went pretty well too. So I can put that away now. And I can pop the stapler away so it's out of my way. Such a small area, it's helpful if I can put things away once I've finished them. Yeah. Feels a lot easier. Oops, that one wasn't as well on the line, but never mind. We'll run with it. It's not too bad. It will still be okay. And again, I did that without inking around the edges. My brain. Where is my brain? It's gone to La La Land. But in actual fact, it's not that difficult to do this with your papers inside. Lots of crumbs. Oops, it's not the lid. Right. It's funny, that looks almost brown, that shabby shutters. Right, so there's that one. We've got it all together as a little notebook. Coffee dyed paper, all ready for writing on. This one, the cover is quite well decorated already. Maybe we just want a little strip of something. Maybe a little strip of music. Shall be slaves. Yeah, let's get rid of that. I have no idea what the rest of the song is, but we don't want those 3 words just randomly on our piece, do we? Just because it's old music doesn't mean you don't have to watch the words that are on it. Funny. Okay, so I'm not distressing this one. I'll just distress that edge so it melds in with the rest of it. And let's cut this wee green bird out, because I think this green bird will look fine with the pumpkin and the melon. Stand on the music. Not quite center. We want them slightly off center so we can still see the slice of melon in there. Okay, give them a little inky edge. And this paper's old and it's soft, so I'm going to switch back to the tacky glue for this one. Tell you what, the day I got this little needle tip glue bottle, it's one of the best days. One of the best finds. It was like $3.50 for 2 of them. And just so handy, so useful. And I've cut down on my glue consumption quite considerably. Right. One more thing, I think, on this one. Let's try it anyway and see whether we like it. Oh, there's an orange one. Yeah, I like that there. Click, click. Those containers are quite loud when you open and close them, so I hope they didn't bother anybody. I usually try and do them a little bit away from the camera, but that time I just went for it. So I apologize if that annoyed you. Did I tell you my head is really somewhere else at the moment? Right, there we go. We've got a little number 3 there, just because I like the colours. Okay, so there's our project for today. Oops, throwing it on the floor. Let me just grab it back. A little bit curly, but once they go in a pocket or a tuck spot or something, they will be fine. You could always back them if you wanted. That would be another option. But I think they'll be absolutely cute. And this little fold out one, which I really love. And then this little notebook one, which I also love. I think both are just ways of varying it and making it just a little bit different. I want to hold it down. It'll be fine once it's in something. There we go. There's my project for today using Tatty Treasure digitals that are available on Patreon. So go check them out. Go check out Tatty Treasure on Patreon. While you're there, give my account a little peek too. Visualized NZ. or Visualised. I'm not sure whether the NZ's on it or not. Thanks so much for joining me today. Spare me a thought as I'm under the knife, probably as you're watching this, or in recovery. If if you're watching it a couple of days later, then I'll be in recovery. Take care, everybody, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.